Appreciation August is on 1 week early at integrativemysticism.com. From now until the 31st of August 2020, enjoy 20% off all Scarlet Moon services, including gift certificates when you applied the codes on your screen. We are now also accepting tips and donations for those of you who've been requesting that for the last 7 years. You can now leave a tip or a donation at my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Virgo. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, I recently debuted a new type of horoscope that's about as personalized as it could possibly get when it comes to a general, available to everyone on YouTube type of horoscope, where I actually guide you through a card selection process and you build your own spread. And you basically pick from cards that have been charged, blessed, and shuffled to be attuned to the energies of the coming week. This week's is available on my main channel page. It is rather involved, and so, if you want a personal reading, the price you pay is getting involved in your own personal reading, but it is available and you might want to check it out. So, what is going on when it comes to just the Virgo energy, the Virgo frequency in general for this coming week? This week, Virgo, it's a weird week because it does feel like a lot of caps and a lot of lids are off. And there are a lot of intense energies, a lot of intense flows, kind of just like unbridled. It's almost like a fire hose with no one controlling it. It's out of control. And it does not have to necessarily be negative, but it is something that needs to be brought to a place of discipline, something that needs to be brought under control that may be devolving a bit into entropy. And that's kind of what I'm seeing as we go into the spiritual theme of this week with the Magician card reversed, which is basically indicating here the spiritual theme behind everything this week is that you are walking into situations where a lot of works or a lot of history, a lot of structures, or a lot of flows and connections have gone into a place of entropy, right? That's where things start to devolve towards chaos because they're not being held together with intention. They're not being nurtured or cared for properly. In fact, the Magician card reversed, it's almost like you're inheriting things that do need to be polished. They do need to be fixed. They do need to be updated. They do need to be brought to a place of health and function and order. Now, the Magician card reversed, however, is also indicating some of these things you may be in over your head with. And there are certain things that you need to make sure that you are not just trying to volunteer to save all the time. You need to be careful because you are not qualified nor required to be all things to all people and do everything for everybody all the time and be every role that something needs, because you might not be able to handle or give them what they need, or they may be looking for it in the wrong place. The Magician card reverse can also indicate some of these things that you may be encountering are beyond bringing back under control, and they need to just finish their journey into entropy. And so this week, it's going to be up to you to discern what you're inheriting, you're going to keep, or what you're going to pass on to the heap. And we see this as we get into the Three of Swords reversed when it comes to your work, your finances, your general material abundance. Because of the Three of Swords reversed, I'm actually looking at the picture here, and it's very apt for what we just talked about with the Magician. It's almost like you are walking into a mess that somebody else had made, and you are walking into just something that you can polish. I do see this as something that you are being called to polish, put back in order, get back on the right path, get back into proper form. This could be a job that you are inheriting from somebody else, a project you're inheriting from somebody else, possibly some of you moving into like a fixer-upper kind of situation. Financially, things seem to actually be going fairly well for you this week, but you're also finding that while you are doing very well, you are struggling, I think, at times to, again, reverse the damages done, possibly by a policy or a trend or maybe a way of doing things or a work ethic or a fashion in this industry or in this job or in this work that you're doing that ultimately led to the mess you're walking into. You are getting this this call to sort of be the Mary Poppins for these circumstances or for these people to get this to all straighten up and fly right. And there will be incentive, but you know, it will also have its fair share of frustration as well, okay? As we get on to your communications, we talk about friends, relatives, other people in your life, news from your community. We've got the King of Swords in reverse. So here's one of the places we need to know when to reject the call for help, because I am seeing somebody trying to recruit you to do something that they're not necessarily being 100% transparent about. And what they're trying to recruit you to do, I think the reason they're keeping it a secret is because it's shit. And this could absolutely be a circumstance where you are being recruited to maybe do some kind of errand, send some kind of message, or work something out that is going to create more distortion and disharmony and discord. The King of Swords reversed does not play with his cards up. And this is somebody who may also be sneaking some cards up their sleeve. We often find the King of Swords reversed, as you've heard me say before, is not, again, without their own deep, dark secrets or trying to keep something on the DL. And I do feel that this week, this friend, this family member, somebody from your community recognizes that there's something you can do for them, but with the Magician card reversed, do not let yourself get manipulated into doing it. As we get on to your challenge this week, or a lesson that presents itself as a challenge, very much consistent messages here. We've got the moon upright, and this is all about paying attention to illusions, paying attention to where things are not exactly what they seem. And your challenge, I think, ultimately with the moon card upright, is to also call out things that are being done or implemented poorly, right? When you're going in as Mary Poppins with the Three of Swords reversed, right, it's going to look crazy and horrible in the beginning. And with the Moon card, it's saying, no, 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 this is going to get better, right? It's better than it looks. It's not as bad as it seems. But you're going to have to call out, you know, the office. You're going to have to call out that customer or that client or, you know, the whole board or the landlord or whatever, and kind of be like, look, this is what went wrong here. You know, I don't know how long y'all been doing it this way, or this is the problem when people start getting trendy with the way they're doing this, that, and the other thing. You've got to reform the situation, but you have to also clarify and clear up the illusions as well. Moon card upright when it comes to the King of Swords reverse. Clearly, we got a very deceptive individual here. Make sure that you understand that this is, you know, follow your intuition, follow your gut when you're seeing something shady. You know, it's almost like a Matt Damon movie where he's getting recruited to, you know, commit a bunch of crimes for, you know, and he doesn't even know what he's doing or why. Be careful with that King of Swords reversed and the moon. As we get into the Ace of Wands reversed for love and romance, this week, Virgo, you're going to want to make sure that you can enjoy the amount of passion and the amount of affection and love and, yes, hot, steamy, you know what, without letting it out of control. Because the Ace of Wands reverse is indicating that there is, when we talk about blowing the lid off something, the Ace of Wands reversed is pretty strong here. There is something that is getting off at a very, very fast pace. I'm not sure if this is maybe a new person or maybe just something new that we're doing with a partner, or if this is just a very, very powerful chemistry coming through. With the Ace of Wands reversed, we can't let this be a pillar of the chemistry. We need to round it out, because while it can be very gratifying and very fun, we have to be able to temper it and keep it under control. Because the faster these types of fires burn, these big blazing infernos, it burns until there's nothing left. And, you know, those kinds of situations, those kinds of enjoyable moments, those types of relationships themselves do not hold up well under those conditions. We have to bring a fire that is temptingly gratifying, right? It looks beautiful on the outside, moon card upright, back under control so we don't burn the house down with it and burn up any opportunities to enjoy it for longer, okay? So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And if you ever want to get a session with me, go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.